Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing my January favorites, and I have so many things to talk about, and I feel like it's because I kind of slacked in my December favorites. I didn't really have a ton of products to talk about, so this is kind of making up for that. And really quickly, I want to mention my new hair. Some of you may notice that it is a little bit different, and if you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, you would have seen the process, and I kind of talked about what I was having done to my hair. So just to briefly fill you guys in, if you are interested in the cut, it's an asymmetrical lob. So basically I still have my long angled bob, except one side is longer than the other side, and this is just something that I was really inspired to do because I love Ingrid Nilsson's hair. Her hair is just like so beautiful. I just didn't feel like I could go as short as her hair is. So I showed my hairstylist and she was like, well, we can come up with something. So I found a few pictures on Pinterest and this is what we came up with. I also took out, or my hairstylist took out, all of the warmth in my hair, and we pretty much took everything back to almost my natural hair color, which is very ashy. So I will have pictures listed down below that you can take your hairstylist if you're interested in this color or this cut, but I did want to briefly mention that. So we're gonna go ahead and start the favorites now. So let's talk Nars first. Nars released their 2016 spring collection this month, or this past month in January, and I picked up the Velvet Matte Skin Tint, which I did a previous video and review on if you guys want to check that out, and also the new blush, which was called Impassioned. First of all, I love this blush. This, I've said it in the past video, I think, whenever I was using the Velvet Matte Skin Tint. If I could be a blush, I feel like this would be it. It's the perfect pinky mauve color. It's just so me. I just love mauve pink tones like this. It's almost like a Pepto-Bismol color, and I don't know why, but I feel like I'm very attracted to that. It has a little bit more of a purple tone than what obviously a Pepto bottle would have. But something about this just really struck me immediately when I saw the previous swatches of it. I knew that I wanted to pick it up, and I have loved it for the entire month. I don't even really know if I've worn another blush for the entire month. This is pretty, I'm looking on my desk right now because pretty much I have the entire makeup selection from the month, and this is like the only blush I've been wearing. I have loved the Velvet Matte Skin Tint this past month. This is literally one of the only products I've been wearing on my skin. It is just so, the coverage level on it is so good for a product that is considered a skin tint. I would consider this to be more of a medium to like fuller coverage face product, but the coverage is great on this. If you have dry skin, you don't really have to worry about setting your face with a powder because it kind of sets for you. If you have an oilier skin type, you'll probably still have to set this, but this product just overall won me over. I was not expecting to like it as much as I do, mainly because it is a matte product and I'm not normally a fan of matte finishes, but something about this was so skin-like, so natural. It felt really good on my skin. It wore really nicely, and it was just kind of like my everyday go-to foundation for the month of January. So I was completely obsessed with this, and I still am. Before I got the Velvet Matte Skin Tint in, I received this from Pure Cosmetics, and it's their Hydra Fluid Foundation. I was really enjoying this as my everyday foundation, but then when the Nars one came along, it kind of like bumped it out of its spot. But if you are more on the dry side, the Hydra Fluid Foundation is definitely more hydrating on the skin. It doesn't have as much coverage as the Velvet Matte Skin Tint does, but nonetheless, it's still a really great everyday foundation. It has a nice light to medium coverage to it, and it felt so good on my skin, really hydrating. Something about this formula, it's called the Water Serum Foundation, but to be honest, when you actually apply it to your face or the back of your hand, it's a little bit thicker than what you would expect it to be. With a name like Water Serum, you would think of like Stila's Aqua Glow foundation, that very runny consistency, but this is actually a little bit thicker than that, but it goes on very smooth and water-like, if that makes sense. So this is a really nice one. I was impressed by because I haven't been too impressed with Pure's face products in the past, and this one was really nice. This was a palette I really wasn't expecting to be impressed with, but it is the Stila Sunset Serenade Convertible Color Dual Lip and Cheek Palette. And this is a part of their spring collection as well. It launched with the Aqua Glow foundations, and I have been loving these 3 in shades here. They are called, let's see here, Twilight Rose is the darkest one, and then there's Camilla, which is one of their most popular colors, and then Gerbera, which is this really light pale pink color. I really enjoyed both of these colors for my cheeks, and then the Camilla color I liked using on my lips. And this was really good for everyday because, I mean, like on my everyday makeup, obviously I don't wear like a super full face. So I could just pat a little bit of this on my cheeks and then put that Camilla color on my lips. And it was just kind of like a 2-in-1. I really enjoyed like how quick it was, and the product stayed on my face. A lot of the times cream blushes want to like move on my face throughout the day, but these didn't, and I was very impressed with them. 2 eyeshadow palettes to talk about. The first being the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I can't remember, I'm pretty sure I got this in January, so I don't think I talked about this in December, but this has been like my go-to, completely obsessed. This palette is just me. Like if I could be a palette, it would be the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I just absolutely love, 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 love the colors in here. Now I will say, since I dyed my hair back a little bit more ashy, some of the tones in here don't go with my skin tone and my hair as well as they did when my hair was very warm. Nonetheless, this is still a beautiful palette. The quality of these shadows is just amazing. And I mentioned in a video where I used these, I stopped using Tarte's eyeshadows for the longest time because I remember I would get their holiday sets that came with their shadows, and then like some of their just palettes that they had released like 3 or 4 years ago, and the shadows were so inconsistent. Some would be really nicely pigmented, and then some would be super chalky and not pigmented at all. The staying power most of the time wasn't very good on them, so I stopped using their eyeshadows for a really long time. And I feel like once they launched that first Tartelette palette, the purple one, I feel like that's when they started improving their shadow formula. And so I went out on a limb and just decided to try this out because so many people were raving about it, and I'm so glad that I did because the eyeshadow formulas are amazing. They apply so smoothly, pigmented, they stay on, the lasting power was great, and I love the packaging of the overall shadows. So this was my #1 for the month of January. This was a palette that I received halfway through January. I actually got it in December, but it was from Zoeva, which is a, I want to say Dutch brand, because I think the return label on it was from Germany. So I want to say Zoeva is a German or Dutch brand. And so this was delivered to me, it was sent to me by the company back in December, but unfortunately I was out of town, and since it was an international package, they required a signature from me. And for some reason, I just thought that my UPS guy was going to bring it back, or my post office man was going to bring this palette back, and he never did. And so I remember I found a little pink notice in my mailbox, and it said that this package was going to be shipped back the next day. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go get this package and see what it is. And that was like over a month later, because this package came to my house, I think, the 2 days after Christmas. So that would have been December 27th. And I went to pick it up like January 20th. So yeah, this palette was hanging out at my post office for the longest time, and I really wish I would have known that it was there. And I would have gotten it earlier. But rant over, this is the Zoeva Taupe palette, and this has been like my #2 palette for the month of January. I really enjoyed this for more cool tones, and like you can see when I hold this up like to my face now and to my hair, don't you think that these like cooler tones, they kind of just go better with like the ashiness in my hair. I don't know, I kind of feel that way about this palette, and so I feel like I'm going to be using this a lot more now that my hair is a little bit more on the ashy side. But I was really impressed with this palette. I have been loving these two shades right here called Gallery and Hour by Hour. I have the Hour by Hour shade in my crease right now, and then I also have a little bit of this outline color right here smudged on my winged liner. So this is the Zoeva Taupes palette, and it is just such a pretty cool tone palette, and I really liked it. This is something I want to give a shout out to because I talked about this in my December favorites, but I feel like I didn't give you guys enough info on it because I had a lot of questions in my comment sections on it. And it's my Amber Blends Essential Oil Fragrance Rollerball. And the Amber Blends collection was, like I said in the previous video, I talked about this. This was a company I discovered at a local boutique, but they do sell these products online. They have their own website. So the Amber Blends is a 100% organic oil, and they have 5 or 6 different scents. Let's see, there's the brown, green, orange, and blue. And I think they may have one more scent. But anyways, this is the scent that I have. It's just called the Amber Essence Oil, and this is their original fragrance. So all of their other fragrances are based off of this one scent right here. So each fragrance you get will have a little bit of this scent in it, or this scent in it. And I have never smelled an essential oil or fragrance that smells this good. There is something about this particular scent that is so clean, not in the sense that it's clean like laundry, it's in the sense that it doesn't smell like a fake fragrance. Like for example, if I were to compare it to like my Jo Malone fragrances, this smells so much more natural. Also, a thing that I love about this is that it stays on me no matter what. Like throughout the day, it lingers on my body. No matter if I can't smell it anymore, I have so many people that are like, oh my gosh, what is that scent? I had a woman in Victoria's Secret come up to me and she literally told me I smelled like peace. So if you want to smell like peace, then get the Amber Essence oil. But I did want to mention that these are very pricey. For this little bottle right here, it's about $49. They also have mists. I think I have my mists sitting around here somewhere. They also make mists which are a little bit cheaper. I think these are around $36, and these you can use as room fresheners. You can spray them on your bed, your clothes, whatever. It's just 100% oil mixed with water. But anyways, I wanted to mention that because you can go on their website and you can get a sample pack of all of their fragrances for $10, and they're just little mini samplers. But I got mine back in November and I still have all of my samplers. I just went ahead and bought the full size of the Amber Essence because I knew I liked it. And then my spritzer is called the Solace. It's the blue one. I go off the coloring because you'll see that each of them have a different color. So like I said, there's a blue one, there's a green one, there's an orange, there's a brown. My least favorite one, if you are curious, is the green one. It's not my favorite, but the other 3 I absolutely love. So I just had to mention my Amber Blends again because I don't feel like I properly gave them a shout out. I will list the link down below, and I would highly suggest trying out the little testers before you actually do, you know, invest in one. Okay, seriously you guys, nude lip colors were my jam for January. I don't even think I wore anything else other than a nude lip color, and I have, let's see, 4 or 5 lip combos that I was wearing. Actually just, well, if you count, I mean if you actually separate them, it's actually just 2 lip combos or 3 lip combos that I was wearing. But I do want to go ahead and mention those because I just like nude I've just been loving. I feel like it's been working for me. So the first one that I have really been enjoying, which I never thought I would like this lipstick, but since I'm so fair, it just works with my skin tone, and it's it's MAC's lipstick in the shade Myth. And Myth is so notorious for being such a like almost dead nude color. Like it will make you look dead if you are too tan. Fortunately for me, I don't have that problem because I'm super pale right now. But this is what it looks like on my skin tone. You can see it's still pretty light on me, but it just gives me that perfect like really nude peachy tint to my lips, and I've been wearing it with Fortune Cookie by NYX, and this is one of their butter glosses, and they're very similar in their shading. You can see that they look almost identical. So I have been loving this for like my really nude lip combo. And then when I want something that is a little bit more on the brown side and gives me a little bit more color, I've been using the MAC lipstick in the shade Pillow Talk, which is a cream sheen finish, so it's not like super brown, super pigmented. That's what it looks like. On my lips, it's a lot more pale than what it's appearing on my hand. And I've been layering that with MAC's Lustre Glass in the shade Love Nectar. My mom actually had this lip gloss. I think I got this for her a couple years ago. And I used it at her house this past month, and I was like, oh man, I really want that. So I bought it. I'm so glad I did. It is the most shimmery lip gloss that I have. The Lustre glasses from MAC are very glittery. They're so like in your face when you apply them. They just literally make your lips sparkle all over. So I've been layering those two together for kind of like my brownish nude color. And last but not least, you guys saw me use this in a couple tutorials. This is the Nude Stix Lip and Cheek Pencil in the shade Whisper. I haven't used this on my cheeks, but I love using this on my lips. It's a little bit darker than the Myth color. It's not as brown or dark as Pillow Talk. It's kind of like a mixture of the two, wouldn't you say, like just looking at it? So this has just been my really good like mid-tone nude shade, and I love how creamy these pencils are, and they stay on really nicely throughout the day. So I was very impressed by this brand. I had never tried it before. Last but not least, I wasn't going to mention this because I did a full video on it, but I feel like I just have to talk about it again. It is my skincare routine for pretty much the entire months of December and January, and it's obviously, you guys probably know what it is. It's the new bareMinerals Skinlongevity line, but I just have to talk about it because I kind of want to give you guys an update with it. I want to talk about my full routine just right now. So to start off with, the cleanser that I have been using the most is actually my Clay Chameleon Transforming Cleanser. This is the one that is red. You can see it's like a red clay, and you apply it to your dry face, and once you actually rub it in, it turns into a white mask on your skin. This cleanser is literally like the most... It's like the best cleanser I think I have ever tried. It literally makes my skin feel so clean. I feel like when I take it off that my skin sometimes doesn't even need a moisturizer, and that's something that I want to touch on too. But this cleanser is just so special. I absolutely love it. The only downfall is that I don't feel like I can use this to take my makeup off with. So this is just something that I have to use when I don't have makeup on, or after I've used my makeup eraser. That's what I mostly do, is I just use my makeup eraser to take my makeup off with, and then I apply this cleanser. But this has been so amazing for my skin. And then my Skinlongevity would be the next thing that I go in and use, and this is like I said, I've talked about this product. It is the way they call it is a skin essence, and it's basically a product that I described being very similar to the bareMinerals Biolucent Mineral Brightening Treatment. But I have since discovered, after using it for you know, I've been using this since October actually. This product I have to hand it to for balancing out my skin. You guys know how dry my skin is. I always complain about, you know, how dry my skin is, how I get dry patches, and this has literally balanced my skin out to where sometimes I only need to apply a combination moisturizer at night. Like, how crazy is that? I cannot believe that I am even able to say this, because initially when I got the Skinlongevity and my moisturizer, which was the Butter Drench moisturizer, whenever I had gotten these in initially, I was doing conference calls with bareMinerals every week to give them feedback on how things are going for me. And I was so used to using an oil on my skin. I was using the Mineral Elixir 5 Blend Oil from bareMinerals, and my skin got so used to that I think it was very dependent on that oil, and it wasn't producing enough oil, and so I think that's why I was so dry. So whenever I got these in and I was using them, I can remember thinking like there's no way that these two products can be enough moisture for my skin right now. I have to have an oil. So in one conference call with them, I just told them, I said, look, you know, Butter Drench is a really nice moisturizer. I can see it working for people who, you know, just have slightly dry skin or maybe normal skin. I said, but I need an oil. Like I can't do this. Like I have to have my oil. And I was like, I haven't been using Skinlongevity enough to even know any results right now. I mean, I seriously was being like straight up honest with them. So that was back in October. Skip up to right now February, and I'm amazed. I stuck with it. I kept using. There were a few nights when I went back to my mineral elixir oil, but I tried to just stick with it and keep with the program and just use it and see if it really did work. And I can't believe that it did. And January is the month that I noticed my skin balancing out. I wasn't waking up dry. I wasn't waking up having patches on my skin. It's just, I just cannot believe that I'm able to not even use an oil anymore. Like that is huge for me. So I use the Skinlongevity, and then at nighttime, most of the time I will go in with my Butter Drench moisturizer, which is the really thick cream. I've already used half of this up. I'm definitely going to be repurchasing this once I'm out. And then during the daytime, I just use my Skinlongevity with my Smart Combination moisturizer. And like I said, sometimes I use this at night. Like if I feel like my skin's hydrated enough, I'll just use the Smart Combo moisturizer. So that is a slight update and just another rave about the new skincare that bareMinerals has released. And I know several of you guys will probably be like, oh, like she's so biased because she works for bareMinerals. This is something that I've been trying to debate if I'm going to talk about in a video, but I guess I'll just go ahead and mention it right now. I have not been working at the bareMinerals spa line that I've worked at for the past 5 years. I've not been working there for, this will be my second month that I left. So surprise, I guess. I don't know. A few people in the comment section asked me about this. I guess some people might have caught on that I was, you know, making more videos, and I did respond and, you know, let them know that I was not working there anymore. But I also want to clarify that I never worked for bareMinerals as a company. I worked for a bareMinerals spa line, which is totally different, and the best way I can compare it would be like an Ulta. Ulta carries bareMinerals, but they aren't really bareMinerals. They're not bareMinerals headquarters. They're only affiliated with bareMinerals. And so that's kind of like how it was for me in the situation that I was, you know, working in. And so I just want to make that very clear that I never worked for like corporate. I never worked for headquarters. It was just kind of like an affiliation. And so yeah, I wanted to include that for those of you who are still watching and for those of you who might care. And I feel like I'll probably do a video on it soon and kind of, you know, talk you guys through like, you know, things that I've been going through the past few months and my goals and, you know, what I'm kind of expecting from YouTube, because I don't want to seem like one of those people that just quits their job just to like do makeup all the time and do tutorials all the time. I feel like I have so much more to offer than that, and I know that there's a greater purpose for what I'm doing on YouTube. I just kind of have to find that platform, and I have to reach that type of audience. So I will be doing a video on that soon. It's going to be definitely more of like a candid, just throw myself out there video, but I feel like it needs to be done. So enough of that. I think that was it for my favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed them. There was definitely a lot. My camera seriously keeps cutting off, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them down below, and I guess I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.